Hello, traders. It's Cousin Betty coming to you from theclosingprint.com, May the 29th, 2023. Last week we had tech on fire with semiconductors moving higher. This is an overbought condition that we'll have to deal with this holiday shortened week.
There you go.
Tomorrow we'll be dealing with a call wall that shifted higher on the Qs. S&P is about the same, with all of the major indices moving higher except for the New York Stock Exchange and the Dow Industrials. That's because we had some rotation out of value intraday. It picked up during the end of the day, though we did see junk bonds turn back up and give us an opportunity for a tailwind. The dollar is also moving higher, so that's a headwind. Overall, we've got about 8 bullish indicators, 8 neutral, and 4 bearish to start Tuesday trading. S&P call wall is at 4,200, and the Q call wall has shifted higher from 340 to 350. We're still on a buy signal and in the upper part of this range, but we're right at that 4,200 call wall. At the same time, we had the Qs bolting higher on better than anticipated earnings and expectations guidance from NVIDIA. All the tech stocks, especially semiconductors, are extended as the Qs arrive at the call wall, and most likely we'll see a little resistance. That said, if the debt ceiling from the news that I've seen over the weekend is approved and it goes through Congress and the Senate, we could see a bolt higher as shorts continue to cover and a potential FOMO crowd kicks in. In addition, we did see a nice little bounce in small caps. I'm looking for small cap financials, industrials, small cap tech, and small cap biotechs to continue. That would assist us in a move back to the 200-day moving average. So you have about 3 to 4 points on the IWM. We could see on a bounce, we got higher lows, looking for that higher high and a retest of the 200-day. A quick look at the rotation that we're seeing in the markets. You can see that tech towards the end of the day, this is a 60-minute chart, started to rotate from leading into moving lower towards the weakening sector, while all the other S&P 500 sectors are attempting to move in the opposite direction. So we'll be looking for value to get bought, as many of those sectors were oversold, as we could see in SPHD, which is loaded with some value names, healthcare, consumer staples. That's right at support. So we're looking for this to turn higher this week, along with a rotation into these improving sectors. Look at consumer discretionary and real estate. Autos looked really good. We saw Tesla, GM, and Ford all bouncing, with the sector showing signs of improving and trending above its 921 50-day. All three are above the 200-day. RSI is above 50. Watch consumer discretionary, especially if the debt ceiling deal gets completed this week, along with communications. Meta is in this group. Meta looks really strong. That's following through as well. Trending, we're looking for trending stocks, buy the dips and sell the rips. We did see some improvement in junk bonds. We are still below the 50-day moving average. We'll look for this to push higher. A little descending channel, looking for a pushback above 91. In addition to other risk on, risk off assets, we'd like to see IBB Biotech in the top panel. IWM in red, Bitcoin, and advanced decline. We'd like to see all of those moving higher, with crude oil perhaps moving a bit lower. That would give us 6 indicators that are risk on versus risk off going into the week. So at the present time, we're more neutral and waiting for institutions to tell us what to do on Tuesday. If we look at commodities, we can see that the S&P 500 is outperforming As this continues, we got a turn like we did in 2003, 2009. In the short term, we are looking for a little pop on the debt ceiling and then potentially a retracement back to mean. And then for this trend to continue, if commodities continue to underperform the major S&P 500. For now, this chart is telling you to anticipate S&P 500 will continue to outperform. The caveat and the elephant in the room is the US dollar. Okay, we've bounced off of this lower part of what appears to be a range back to the 200-day moving average. We anticipate that on a first visit that we get rejected, potentially stay in a range. If this continues higher, anticipate a headwind for tech along with the 10-year. These are two of the four bearish indicators that we had going into the week. You can see the 10-year is pretty much in a range as well. So if this arrived at, say, 4%, we'd anticipate the dollar be very close to the 200-day and then look for those to pull back. Crude oil remains below its descending 50-day EMA. We'd like to see that continue and for crude oil prices to back off. Overall, we're looking for XLY and XLC to continue and for some of these other sectors that we pointed out earlier to begin outperforming, and look forward to sectors like financials, the banks to improve, higher lows, looking for a higher high and a test of the 200-day, and industrials, which remain range bound just below their 50-day. Look for consumer discretionary and communications to continue, while tech is a bit overbought and could see a little bit of consolidation this week. Year-to-date, technology is up 32.7%, communications up 30%, and consumer discretionary, which is trending, is up 18% on the year. So we will be watching these three sectors for follow-through this week. Cadence Design looks like it could follow through. It's got a 50 on its stochastics. That could move higher, while most of the other semis are overbought and at highs at risk of a consolidation and a little pullback in the short term. Core and main right at its 21-day moving average. Stochastics turning, volume picking up on Thursday and Friday. DraftKings with a chance to consolidate after earnings on the gap up. A little pullback to the 21-day. Stochastics is recycling again. Fortinet watching stochastics, looking for a turn here. Fortress Transportation and Infrastructure right at its 21-day. Watch stochastics for a turn. Intracellular, ITCI, looking for a bounce at the 50-day. Stochastics to turn after consolidation over the last 2.5 weeks. Some of the healthcare sector stocks could see a bounce. We're looking at MedSpace, stochastics turning. Okta embedded looking good, breaking out to 52-week highs above that 85 level. Pulte Homes, Toll Brothers, and the home builders have pulled back recently, setting up another bounce. Inventory issues are not going to go away in 1 quarter. Looking for these to continue. Travel and leisure, Royal Caribbean looks like it could follow through. Stochastics is starting to turn, volume. Another healthcare stock, Shockwave, consolidating for the last 4 weeks. Looking for a pop higher. Stochastics oversold and starting to turn. Watch for a pop back above 285. Uber after earnings. Stochastics is now oversold and starting to turn. Watching for volume to pick up again. And look for a bounce at the 21-day. Stocks that showed up on the stochastic scan, where we have stochastics below 20 and turning, price in a base, looking for a pop. You can see what happened on Costco last week after earnings. So watch it if it breaks above 510 this week. eBay, again, remember consumer discretionary could see a follow through. Mexico, EWW, nice bounce at the 50-day. Stochastics turning, volume picking up on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look for a follow through. In the Mexico iShares, EWW. Some of these small cap banks like First Trust, looking for a follow through, break out of a range. I'd rather see a trending condition. Invitation Homes, this is a favorite. This one looks like it could follow through as well. Stochastics oversold, looking for volume to pick up and for price to get back above the 21-day and then a break above recent highs. You can pause the video and check out some of these stocks that are oversold. Ingersoll Rand, looking for some of the industrials to outperform as well. WWD, oversold and turning, along with Stag Industrial. Once again, we had relative strength in the semis and the tech space. You can see most of these are ripping higher. AMD, Broadcom, ASML, Applied Materials, Cadence Design, not quite overbought, but certainly being bought on Thursday and Friday after NVIDIA earnings. We're looking for some of these to consolidate, though this relative strength could continue. The reason being is it's like a gamma squeeze. In addition, institutions can buy high and sell higher. We got Clack moving higher, JBL, Marvell, big move higher on Thursday, and then a gap up on Friday. Meta is trending, so that's a potential trade there as well. Looking for little dips to buy. Microsoft following through. NVIDIA, of course. Most of these followed through quite strongly. Onto Innovation was something we wrote about on Monday last week prior to the Thursday earnings from NVIDIA. That continued higher as well. Rambus, continuation, and so forth. These are all looking very strong. Taiwan Semiconductor, Teradata. There's just so many stocks pushing higher. Hard to say what's going to happen on Tuesday. All depends on the news on the debt ceiling to start the week. Okay, this is going to do it for me. I'm Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com with your weekend video newsletter. I'll send out a watch list on the best setup stocks for a follow through into your inbox later around 11:30, 12 o'clock on the East Coast and around 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So be sure to check your inbox for that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you in the morning. Take care.